access my. When I want to view my table spaces, let me show you what it shows. Let me show you what it says. Let me connect back.
Excuse me, guys. I cannot have permission for the
Have you seen what it shows?
No free buffers available in buffer pool default. The block size 16K. Okay, so it means connect to. It means you don't have enough memory anymore. Connect to PuTTY. Connect on PuTTY to your database.
Okay.
Emerald.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. After that, can I have you can show us you can show me again for scheduling my recover, because I know the video is not all of the video. This class is not all of our class. The last class is just one. That's why.
What do you mean? We did it yesterday, right?
No, I say for the schedule for recovery.
Schedule a backup or schedule recovery?
Schedule the backup. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's not.
Okay, let's first finish with him. Connect to PuTTY Bello.
I've connected.
I'm not seeing that your PuTTY screen.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, Jane, can you give me the permission to record, please?
Okay, it's Mary. Who is it? It's Anita?
No,
Okay.
it's Marie.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you see now?
Okay, I see. Can you zoom in?
Okay.
Okay, connect to your database.
Let me zoom in this way then. Yeah, my database is open.
Okay, connect.
Okay.
Connect to SQL, I meant.
Okay, it's connected.
Okay, shut down. Shut down immediately.
Can you check the word immediate? Can you write it good?
It's immediate, not immediate.
Shit. Oh, my bad.
It's all right. Okay, now start up. Now, what was the problem?
Now, when I tried to go to my enterprise manager,
Before going to, what were you trying to do in your enterprise manager?
I wanted to take some of my table spaces offline before I schedule my backup.
Why do you want to take some table spaces offline?
Well said. Actually, I wanted to put all of them online before I schedule my backup. So when I went to my enterprise manager, I couldn't view any of my table spaces.
Okay, why? Because they are offline.
Not because they are offline, because it shows here that.
Okay, go back to Puri.
Okay.
Describe VDollar table space. D desk. You didn't need to shut it down and just continue.
Desk.
No. You need to connect back to SQL.
Okay.
Is it why you have to write? Wow.
Desk what?
Okay, DES. Describe VDollar table space. Okay. Now select TS hashtag. The first one you're seeing over there.
Okay.
Comma, name. From VDollar table space. Go up. Okay, now you had an issue with which table space?
I was saying I couldn't view my table spaces on Enterprise Manager.
What do you mean you cannot view it?
Like, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And now I want to go to my table spaces, right?
Okay, go.
You see, I basically can't see anything.
Okay, I think it's a connection issue. Yeah, it has nothing to do with your data because you have all your table spaces. Like that's why we issued select TS number name from VDollar table space. So you can see here so that the database connection has been unexpectedly severed with the error message.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is try to disconnect and reconnect back.
Exactly.
Stop Enterprise Manager and then EMCTL, stop DB console, and then you restart it.
So should I do it now or later?
Go ahead.
Is it here that you have to write out? Let's see a place. Go back on your.
Go back to Puri.
Exit here.
I should exit.
Yeah. To go back on Oracle. Ah.
You guys are confusing me.
exit Enterprise Manager, right? Close all the windows. Then you stop the DB console and then you restart it. Because you basically just have a connection issue.
Actually, I stopped my listener, I stopped my Enterprise Manager yesterday, and I still connected, it didn't go through.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you said I should connect.
You need to set up environment. You need to go to the Oracle first. After that,
Shall I stop what?
no.
No, it's not in SQL, in operating system.
Oh, in operating system. So where should I go from here?
I thought you need to put it AEMCTL. That's the command.
EM.
Now, before the stop. Is before the stop. The stop is the middle. Before the stop. Before the stop. Before.
Okay.
Yeah.
EM.
EMCTL.
Stop.
Space. Okay, space DB console.
Where's that noise coming from? You say what? I didn't get to please.
Space DB console.
DB console.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Mira, please, after this, can you check on mine, please?
I have to check Natu's first.
Remember, I sent you a message since yesterday about trying to set up. I just sent you
Okay, should I start up?
Emerald, I got a quick question. Hello?
Sure.
So I multiplexed my control file and I had a torrent control file to it, but once I shut the database down and open it up back, it said identifying control file failed, check alert log for more information.
Did you follow all the steps? I think we did that practice at least 5 or 6 times.
I checked the location, yeah.
What's the first thing you do? You go and check in the live location of your database, right?
Yeah.
You check the live location, and if you don't see it,
then if you don't see it, you add it there.
if you don't, whatever you have in the live location, I mean, all the control files should be also in your P file, right?
Yeah.
So you need to compare both the P file and your live location. Whatever is missing, right? That's when you start. You edit either your P file, either you remove the extra files, or you add the files that are missing in your P file.
Okay.
That's it. And then when you start your database, you create SP file from P file.
Okay, all right, thanks.
I think there is a video for that, right?
Yeah, there is. I just thought it was something else. I didn't know because I follow all the steps and I didn't expect that should be the issue. But
Did you follow all the steps? And did you also follow all the steps to fix that problem? Because we have videos on how to fix it.
Yeah, I didn't try fixing it. It just happened. So I said, as I'm on, let me just ask the question. But I'll follow the video and fix it. Thanks.
Welcome.
All right.
No, you see, it's the same thing. I still can't view it. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, I'm saying stop sharing the screen, please.
I'll just stop.
Yes, stop sharing the screen. I'll do it.
Okay.
Two, 6, 9, 6, 0.
Please, the host cannot be given the permission to record.
Yeah, anybody want to record, please send me a private message. So do
All
not
right.
distort the classes.
All
Send me
right.
the private message. I'll give you the permission.
Okay, sir.
Please, when you're ready to see mine, let me know, please.
Okay. Actually, we still have to go over chapter 14 though. So I'm not going to be fixing everybody's issue, but let's try to quickly do.
I'm struggling to also like to do the backup.
What's your student number, Bello?
My student number is 174.
174, okay. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. What's your database name?
FK.
FKDMO?
No, FKBDMO. FKBDMO.
Okay. I want to see it for myself. EMCTL. Okay, it's our system. I'm connecting to your enterprise manager.
Okay.
Okay, so you say it's when you go to table spaces, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Server. Okay, no free buffers available in buffer pool default for block size 16K. Okay. So we need to change the size to, we need to change it. Let me go back to PuTTY and connect to SQL. Are you done?
Yeah, let me check the table space.
Okay, go ahead.
There you go. Thank
It's
you,
working
everyone.
now, right?
Yeah,
You're welcome. Okay, good.
that was a long struggle. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So now let's move on. Natu, are you here? Yes.
Question. What is the problem? Also, you change the size from 16 to 18.
The problem is that he had insufficient buffer pool for the specified block size, right? So for 16K blocks, he didn't have enough memory.
Memory. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I was told to copy this problem and copy the solution, and maybe save it somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Try to save it somewhere.
Okay. Thank you. Let me stop sharing.
Okay.
Can
So
you
Natu, are you here? Natu isn't here yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you check on mine while she start around?
Okay, go ahead. Show yours.
Should I share my screen or what?
Okay, go ahead. Share your screen.
I didn't see what to do.
I'm going to send you the SQL statement.
Okay.
Let me share.
Can you see now?
No.
Emma, can you see my screen now? Can anyone see my screen?
No, we can't see your screen. I can't see your screen.
Wonderful.
Yes, I can see it. I can see
Yeah,
it.
I can see it.
Okay, so Emma, this is what I have. Like, I tried setting this up for the backup, but I get an error, validation error. So when you scroll down, you told me maybe it's a password error here for the Oracle. Emma, are you there?
Okay, sorry. Okay, so what's the problem?
Yeah, I was saying,
What's the error you're having?
set this up like Prof did for the backup. So when I do and I press OK, this is what I received, validation error.
Okay, did you enter the backup location?
The backup location?
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to enter that?
Really? It's just written here, like auto disk location. I mean, the backup needs to go somewhere, right?
No, I think he never, like, I think it was blank, right? What Prof did? Or can someone help me? I think it was blank. He changed, I think here he changed three things.
Because it says examine and
This is what he did from here, from device.
okay. Because there is somewhere where you definitely need to add the FRA, that /FRA.
This is what he did, I think here, availability, backup settings, right? Here, it said we should maintain this. And then we take image copy. Oh, image copy, then you put the password here, the Oracle here.
Yes.
Password class 26.
But did you already configure the recovery file destination?
Hi, Emerald.
Hello.
I think I have the FR, but I don't think if I configured it.
Well, it won't guess for you, right? It won't just guess where to put it, where to send the backup to. You need to specify the location, if not done already. But if it's already configured, then you wouldn't need to do that. But if it's not, then you would need to specify that.
So how can I specify that now, please?
How did you guys set your database configure your database for full recoverability? Did you do it on Enterprise Manager or directly on PuTTY?
On PuTTY.
We did it on the Enterprise Manager.
No, on PuTTY.
The full one.
The full one was on PuTTY. Set up everything on PuTTY.
Okay, so go ahead and set it up on PuTTY, and we did that last. We even did it yesterday. And I know you guys did it with Prof. And when we did it with Prof, we also did it on PuTTY. And then
I will try doing that, and if it doesn't work, maybe in the next class I will let you know.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so Natu, are you here now?
Sorry, I had a problem with my Zoom.
Okay, share your screen.
Which one do you want me to share? Enterprise management or?
Share PuTTY.
Okay. Can you see it? Can you see
Oh,
my?
yeah, I can see it. Are you connected to your environment already?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I want you to connect to your database. Connect to
Yeah,
SQL.
I'm connected to my database. Let me just go back.
I mean, connect to SQL. Okay, I want you to show
Show parameter what?
recovery. Okay, it's 2 GB, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if what you have in your FRA / your database name is greater than 2 GB, then that would be the problem.
Someone is making noise,
So
please. I should mute that person.
Oh,
can you guys mute?
Natu is your background. Natu is your background.
So from here now to you exit.
I'll go to the room. Okay, that's fine now. Exit. Yes.
Okay, and then you go to cd/oradata/FRA. Okay, list it. Okay, good. Okay, then CDBNDMO. Your database. Okay, from here, I want you to do DU. I want you to DU space -SH -SH space or space star. Okay, you see it's bigger than 2 GB. Go back, CD space ...
What is bigger than 2 GB?
Archive log and the backup sets, both united, are more than 2 GB.
Is
So
that
CD
one that is
space ...
652?
Both together are bigger than 2 GB. Okay, now I want you to do the DU space -SH space all again. So you can see the set what's in. Okay, it's 2 GB. So it means that your FRA is full. Your FRA for your database BNDMO is full. So you need to resize it. Either you resize it to more gigabyte, or you delete some backups, some backup sets, or some archive logs files. So you have the option between the two.
Let's resize it, please.
Okay.
Or if we can delete, no problem. We can resize and even delete again.
Yeah, you can resize and delete.
Yes, we can resize and delete the background so that the problem will come on.
Okay.
So what should I do to resize this?
You go back to SQL, right? Then show parameter recovery. Now after system set, you use the second one, set _ recovery _ file. And then you set it to 3 GB.
What do you want me to put?
You can put 3 GB or 2.5, depends. Scope equals both. Okay. Create P file from SP file. Okay, now you should be good. And now
We
you can,
delete some backups.
yeah, delete some backups that you don't need anymore. That you won't need anymore.
So how do you do that?
Go back to exit SQL. Okay, list. Okay, CD to BNDMO. Okay, I think your backup sets are the one taking the most space. So you want to CD to backup set.
Like that?
One word, one word.
Like this?
Yes, or plural. Okay, listed. Wow, you only have one, but okay, that's a directory. So CD into that directory.
That number?
Yes, that's the name of the directory. Those are the backups from the first. Now listed. Wow. Do you see how heavy the first one is? And the last one is even, it's heavier. Okay. The last one is almost 1 GB, literally. Okay, so you want to remove all of them. Remove all.
Should I write it in full or just?
Just RM or star.
You see RM?
Space star.
Like that?
Yes. Okay, that's good. You remove that. Now try to connect to Enterprise Manager. It should work. When you have all backups like that, for example, if you had more like maybe from today, from yesterday, from the day before, you don't need to keep the old backups from 5 days ago. You can just delete them and just keep 1 or 2 recent backups.
That's it now.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
You know, it was
So,
already good before we started.
oh, it was already good?
Immediately I connected myself and I saw it was like that. I don't know what this thing is playing. I didn't touch it since the last picture that I sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't touch it. And when it asked me to connect, I saw it like this. I don't know if it's going back and forth. I don't understand.
No, it's not going back and forth. But it's good. Anyway, it's good.
Thank you very much. I'll pray that it doesn't change by night.
No, it won't change.
Thank you so much.
So we're good. So now I want us to go and review chapter 14. And you guys have questions on chapter 14? If you don't have questions, I have questions. I always do have questions. And this time I'm gonna call people like this morning so that everybody can participate. Okay, the first question would be, when it comes to data loss and recovery, what is the role of the DBA? Hello? When it comes to data loss and recovery, what is the role of the DBA? Chapter 14 is backup and recovery, right? Why is this chapter so important? Why do you guys need to learn it? I want to pick someone. Olivia, hello.
To back up data, so in case of any loss, the data which has been lost can be recovered.
Yes, to ensure, what you mean is ensure minimal data loss, right? That's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. That's one of the main goals of the DBA, is to ensure that a minimum amount of data is lost or zero data loss, right? What else?
I think he can protect the data by multiplex the control file and the Odoo log file.
Exactly. Protect critical files by multiplexing, like the Odoo log and the control files. Exactly. What else? What else? We said the first thing was minimum data loss, right? He said. The second thing is by multiplexing, right? By redundancy. Now, what else? Okay, one other thing. Yeah.
The question was the role of the DBA in recovery, right?
When it comes to data loss and recovery, what is the role of the DBA? Yes.
Okay. If you say that, for example, like the DBA, like one of his role is to implement appropriate database backup strategy.
Exactly. The DBA should have good backup strategies, right? Know when to back up to make sure that the database is always running at an optimal level. What else? And backups also protect the database from failure, right? Or are used for fast recovery as well. Actually, I wanted to. So for what you say, it's right. But basically, the DBA must be proactive, right? The DBA must be very proactive. And the DBA must also be a very fast reactor, right? He needs to react fast. The same way he must be proactive by having backup strategies, right? The same way he must also react fast to decrease the mean time to recover, right? The database shouldn't be down for 5 hours. If there is a crash, the database should be down for at maximum maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It depends on the company, right? So, yeah. So the DBA must be very proactive and very reactive as well. And what else? Yes, the database must be available to users anytime they need it. So the database must be open all the time, right? Or if the database is shut down, or if, for example, the DBA is running backups, the DBA must have strategies to ensure that the backups are running at a time where there is almost no users connected, or barely any, right? Maybe at 3 a.m., usually it's at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. when everybody is asleep, right? Are we good? Fali,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you have to say? Has a DBA. You has a DBA, right? Put yourself in a DBA's shoes. As a DBA, what do you think your role is?
I need to make sure the database is working well.
Exactly, the database is up, right, and running. Yes. Minimal downtime, minimal data loss.
Yes, ma'am.
Those are the two main things: minimum downtime, minimum data loss. If you forget everything, at least make sure you know that. Okay. What are the types of failure that can occur? What are the types of failure that can occur?
You have a user process failure.
Yes.
Failure.
Yes.
Network failure.
Yes.
And user error.
Yes.
Statement failure.
Yes.
Instance failure.
Yes. That's good.
Major failure.
Major failure, exactly. When you guys had the problem, when some people had the problem with control file, when it says error in identify control file, what kind of error do you think that was?
I think it's the media failure.
Media failure.
The media
Yes.
failure.
Exactly, it's media failure, right? Because a file is missing or multiple files are missing, right? That's good. So let's do it in order. Let's start with the statement failure.
I think the statement failure. I think you go have that one you go failure like a select, update, or insert. I think when you go do this kind of the SQL command, when you got failure, this one the statement failure. I don't know.
Yes, yeah, you're right. For example, if you try to add a date in, let's say, in where you should have, let's say, varchar 220, like a number or words or letters, right?
Yes.
You get a statement failure because a date wasn't supposed to be entered there, or a number wasn't supposed to be entered there, but something else, or a date was supposed to be entered there. And another time, if you don't have the right privileges, I think we've had that error many times here, right? Where it says insufficient privilege, right? Or if you connect as any user you create and you try to shut down, it will tell you insufficient privilege, right?
Yes.
And or if you the last one is logical errors, but logical errors are not your fault, right? For the DBA, some applications are not really good. So if there is a logical error, the DBA should go and work with developers for them to fix the code, basically. So those are the different types of statement failures. I don't know. You guys have any question?
No, can you please say again the different type of statement failure, please?
I say the first one is if, for example, you enter the wrong data into a table. Let's say in a table, let's say the address. Let's say the address is Varcar 220, right? So you should enter like an address. But instead of entering an address, you enter a date. Let's say January. It won't work. Or maybe instead of entering just a date, you enter, let's say, just a regular number or letters, right? That would be a statement failure because you entered invalid data into a table, right? Another type of statement failure is if you don't have the right privilege. For example, if you create a user, even if you grant that user DBA privilege, that user wouldn't be able to shut down the database because that, the DBA role, that user wouldn't be able to shut down the database because it doesn't have sysdba or sysupper privilege, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So insufficient privilege. And you also have logical errors. And logical errors are not, it's not the DBA's fault and it's not the user's fault. So usually you would need to see the developers, to work with the developer for them to change the code or improve the code for the application for that particular SQL statement. We good?
It'll be good, thank you.
Okay. What's user process failure?
The user process failure one. I think one day session's failure.
What did you say?
I think user process failure is when the session is a failure.
Yes, you mean when there is a session is abnormally terminated, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. You're right. But what can be done in this case? That's the only thing where the DBA doesn't need to do much. But the DBA would just, yeah, because they would fix themselves automatically and the PMON would help in fixing those errors as well. The PMON would, for example, roll back a transaction if disconnected. And also the DBA can enable that every time there is a session that's terminated abnormally, the DBA can set up that the instance restarts automatically, right? So that the DBA doesn't even have to do anything. And there is also one thing for that one that the DBA must do is the DBA must check to make sure that it's actually to make sure that it's not just, okay, there are two cases. It can either be a user, for example, many users don't know how to use it, or they don't know how to disconnect normally. It can happen. So if some users don't know how to disconnect normally, the DBA can just suggest maybe to their manager how to, like that they need a training, right? Or in other case, it might not be their fault. It might be a network issue, right? So the DBA might report it to the network administrators. Any question? Hello? You guys don't have questions? Fali, you have a question?
I'm good.
You're good?
Not really.
Okay. Did you guys read your chapter 14? Because it's actually an interesting chapter. Okay. I know, with all the practice, right?
Yeah.
So the next one is network failure. What's network failure?
I'm talking what?
What are some type of network failures that you can encounter?
I think when the connection is failure.
Yeah, when the connection fails, yes. What else? We've had many network failures here, right?
When the listener fail.
Yeah, when the listener fails, right. And in the note, it also says when the network interface card fails, right? So the network interface card is basically a card that allows you to connect from one computer to a network device, right? To another network computer. So it allows you to connect to a network. That's the NIC. Now, what are some of the solutions that can be done in case a listener fails, or in case you have a network connection failure?
I think in case that the listener fail, you can configure a backup listener.
Exactly, you can configure a backup so that if the first listener doesn't, if it doesn't connect to the first one, it would go to the backup and it will be able to connect with the backup listener. And it's the same for the network connection as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can configure a backup to reduce the chance that the network failure affects your system. Are we good with that?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. User error. User error. Hello.
It can occur when the user drop a table.
Yes, if a user drops the table. And what else?
Modify data.
Yes, if for example a user deletes many, let's say delete some columns or modifies data, like many data at the same time and then commits, that's a user error, right?
Yes,
now
ma'am.
what can be done to fix an issue like that?
You can recover from a valid backup.
What did you say?
I said you can recover from a valid backup.
No.
Recover table from a recycle bin.
Yes, when the table drops, you can recover the table from the recycle bin, right? But what if it's a user made changes to the table?
Roll back to
like
it.
The user made changes and then committed. So all the informations that are in the table are corrupt, they are wrong. Let's say instead of someone's salary to be 1,200, it's now 7,800, right? And it's not like that just for one user. It's like that for, let's say, 10,000 different employees, right? So what could be done in that specific case?
Undo table.
Undo?
the undo table in case you had set the time.
Yes, the changes were already committed, right?
Yes.
And
But if you set up your undo retention time, I think the information will still be on the undo table till the time due. So you'll be able to have it back.
yes, but undo retention time usually doesn't last long. Let's say, usually it's set to 15 minutes. Let's say it's not, you're the DBA, right? And you discover someone did that yesterday, right? So the company calls you and tell you, oh, all the salaries are mixed up. It's totally, it's just a disaster. What would you won't be able to have access to those undo data? If it was something that you could do right away, then you would be able to recover, right?
Yes.
If you cannot do that, what is the other option that you can do?
Or if you cannot recover?
If you cannot recover it from the undo.
I think you can do the flashback table.
Exactly. That's the only option. Your database has to be, of course, in flashback, has flashback enabled, and then you need to do flashback table to a specific point in time. That would be the only options, because if it's 1 day or even 2 hours, you wouldn't be able to recover from the undo. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So flashback would be the only option here. Because flashback allows you to only recover one table. It allows you to do a point in time, back in time, right? Point in time recovery, back in time of just one table, right?
Yes.
But if it was the redo, if you were supposed to use the redo, it would be the whole entire database. Okay. Okay, we're good for user errors. Okay, the next part is flashback technology. Why is flashback technology important for recovery? And what are the different types of flashback?
I think it restore the database for the backup.
I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean?
The flashback technology, that's it. It's give you the opportunity to go back query something you lost or you need in the past.
Yes. Yes. The first thing we need to know about flashback is that for you to enable flashback, first you need to have your database needs to be in archive log mode, and your flashback needs to be enabled, right? When you do flashback, when it's enabled, your database will create flashback logs instead of archive logs, right? And recovery would be performed, right, to go back in time from the flashback logs. Now, the good thing with flashback is that you can just view a data from the past, right? Or from the future, let's say, right?
Yes.
And you can also do a full flashback of the entire database, right? You do a full point in time. And you can also only flashback just one table to point in time. So this is what's really good about it. Because let's say, and the other good thing is that if you want to flashback a table, you don't need to shut down your database, right? Your database can still be up and running, and you'll still be able to have access to that old table, maybe from 2 weeks ago, or maybe before dangerous changes were made, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You guys have questions on flashback?
Emerald, I
Yes.
got a question. What kind of difference between flashback query and flashback
One
version
moment.
query?
Give me a second, please.
No problem.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so what were you saying?
No problem. I asked a question. What kind of difference between flashback, between flashback query, flashback version query? What kind of difference between?
Okay, so they are almost the same thing, right? Flashback query is simply, it allows you to be able to view, to do a point in time recovery, to view committed information, to view the data at some point in time. Let's say before a statement was issued, let's say, right?
Yes,
And for
ma'am.
that, you will use the, of course, the SCN or the time, right? No, you can use the time and the SCN.
Okay.
And a flashback version query, it's more specific. It means like it's not only for the select statement, but it also allows you to view, even if you select, for example, for indexes, not only for tables, but also for indexes.
Okay. Thank you.
You guys have another question? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Okay, let's try to go over each flashback options, and then we can move on to the next one, that's checkpoint, I think. Okay, so what would be flashback table?
It covers tables with specific point in time.
Yes. Yeah, it allows you to recover a table to a previous point in time, right? And without having an effect to any other object in the database. That's flashback table, right?
Yes.
Now, what's flashback transaction backup?
I'll tell you, flashback transaction backup is to hold back a specific transaction and depend the transaction you was looking for.
Okay. Flashback transaction backup is after you committed a change, right? For example, when you committed a change, and of course you're not able to roll back, the change were already committed. So right after that, you can just roll back using the flashback transaction backup, so that all those changes that were committed will just be rolled back, because normally you wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay.
Right? So that's why we have flashback transaction backout. And what's flashback transaction query?
It permits you to see all the changes made by a specific transaction.
Yes. Yes. For example, earlier we said that if someone comes and makes all types of changes in a database, in a table, and then that person just leaves, so you wouldn't know at what time that person made those changes or when for you to do a point in time recovery, right? So what you would need to do is do a flashback transaction query in order to see all the transactions made by a specific user, to be able to have access, to be able to see how you can actually fix the table and recover or fix, let's say, a corrupt table, right? So that's basically a flashback transaction query. It's very important for the DBA so that it allows you to check what was done so that you can fix it. Now, flashback query, it just allows you to see the changes made at a specific point in time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And flashback version query, it's the same thing. It's just that it allows you to compare. It allows you to, for example, it allows you to compare between different point in time. For example, when you have indexes, right? You know that indexes, you have one column and another column. For example, different rows can be indexed, right? So with the flashback version query, it would allow you to be able to view different state of a table from different point in time. I don't know if it makes sense. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
Is version flashback version query good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's a little bit like, I think there is an example that we used that was similar to that. I don't have it on top of my head, but when I get it, I'll come back to it. Okay, flashback drop. It just allows you to return the drop table, right? If someone dropped the table by mistake, you can just do flashback drop. And flashback database allows you to return the entire database, right?
Yes.
Okay. Instance failure. What are some of the causes for instance failure?
Shutdown, abort.
Right, you're right. Shutdown abort.
Power
I
off.
thought, oh, go on.
She's right. Shutdown abort is an emergency shutdown procedure. She's right.
Yes.
What else?
Failure of one of the critical background process.
Yes, you're right.
I thought
Power
shut down.
out.
I think it shut down before the synchronizes before this I think before the
You mean checkpoint?
the checkpoint take place.
Yes. Or even just power outage. That's a simple one, right?
Yeah, Marie said it.
Oh, she said it? Oh,
Yeah,
I
she
thought she
said
said emergency shutdown.
no, she said power outage.
Okay.
It's because the kid was making noise.
Okay. And if your computer itself has an issue, right? So hardware failure.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Hardware failure can also be maybe the operating system crash too.
The operating system.
Yeah, crash.
I don't know what you mean by
Or the
that.
software problems. Or the software has a problem.
Yes, a system crash, you mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if the software has a problem, then yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
What can cause a software to crash? A software failure?
It can be, the issue might be coming from the computer. It might come from the hardware errors, right? Errors in the computer itself, right?
Yeah.
Or in case maybe the RAM is full.
Okay.
So it might cause random system crashes. Or maybe there is an issue with the CPU. I mean, or maybe your computer is too hot, all right?
Oh.
Excessive heat. I mean, there are so many things that can happen. You know, sometimes, I mean, for the gamers, well, you can play for like 72 hours and then your computer crashes because it was too hot, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, this morning we brought up something about, I think it was about shutdown abort. Okay, checkpoint. You gotta remember checkpoint, right? Checkpoint is back. Right?
Yes.
You guys understand now the instance recovery for the checkpoint process?
Can you explain just a little bit?
No, I'm expecting one of you guys to explain it, and then I'll explain it.
Okay.
First, we have normal checkpoint and incremental checkpoint, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Do you guys remember the write-ahead protocol?
Yes.
What is it?
That the log writer must always write before the DB writer.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so maybe I should ask questions. I think we can start by taking a scenario, right? Let's say someone is shut down abort, right? And someone was updating, let's say making some updates to a table. What will happen after when the shutdown abort is issued?
Nothing will be recovered.
No.
Nothing will be recovered.
Yes. But before that, when it's shut down, there is no checkpoint, right?
Checkpoint, yes.
Yes. And when it recovers, when you start up your database again, right?
Yes.
How will it be recovered? How will it recover it? How will it happen?
The checkpoint will take place.
What?
I think there was someone talking. I interrupted someone.
Okay. Whoever was interrupted.
Okay. When you start up your database, checkpoint is going to take place. Like it's going to update the data file header and the SCN number in the control file for recovery to take place. And you check the position of checkpoint position in the redo log.
You mean when you restart?
Yeah, what was the question?
No, my question was, after a shutdown abort, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you want to restore the database, right? We know that recovery will take place.
Yes.
Now, my question is, what actually would happen in the background? Hello?
Yes.
I think like recovery will start from the last known SCN number.
Exactly. Recovery will start from the last known SCN number that is consistent throughout the whole database, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a pointing time recovery to that last SCN, right?
Yes.
Because it's consistent, it's synchronized with everything, in all the data file headers, control files, and ready log. And then that's how you're able to open your database. So you don't need to do anything. Like the DB1 doesn't have to do anything. It's done automatically, right? The only issue is if you do a shutdown abort and let's say your systems one is already crashed or your control files are missing or something is happening or your control files are corrupt, that's when you would need to do to manually apply maybe the redo logs or try to apply the archive logs. Yes. Are we good?
Yes.
Hello, Emerald. I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
How does checkpointing occur for group commit?
How does what?
Checkpointing.
How does checkpointing? I don't know. I cannot hear you. I can't hear you.
I mean, how does checkpointing work for group commit? Or I mean, how does the during group commit, how is like the numbering with the redo log groups and stuff?
Okay, you mean when a change is commit, when transactions are committed, right?
Yes, I mean,
place.
Yes, I mean during group commit, you know, they said the log writer, the log writer writes is to write one statement at a time, or I could actually wait for statements to accumulate and then write them to the redo log.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was wondering how the sequence numbers and how checkpointing occurs for that when there are many different when it's writing a lot of data at the same time.
Yes.
Does it like just jump all the way? So
Okay. Are you trying to like understand the difference between group commit and just immediate commit?
Yeah, that would
Like
help.
commit?
Yes, that would help.
Okay. Okay, when you just commit, it's just done, everything is committed, right? Everything is done at the same time. But I think that with group commit is done progressively, right?
Right.
Meaning one SQL statement at a time.
Okay. So
But,
you said,
But my question, but I wanted to know, like, did you wanted to know the relation with checkpoint?
Yes, is there any relation between that and checkpoints?
Of course, you know that every time there is a commit, right? Every time that you commit, the redo log information, the information would be written from by the log writer into the redo entries, and they would be in the redo log files, and then they would be written to disk as soon as the changes are committed, right?
Right.
And if the changes are not committed, then or roll back, the changes appear from the redo entries. So every time there is a commit, the changes would be written, and you know that the log writer writes every second, right?
Right.
And the incremental checkpoints, when there is an incremental checkpoint, the checkpoint process tells the DB writer to write also after every 3 seconds, right?
Right.
After every 3 seconds, when there is a commit, those changes are being written, right, to the log file and to the control files by the DB writer, and written to the log files, of course, by the log writer. So all of it is related. Every time there is a commit, right? Every time there's a change that is made and committed, the changes would be written. That's why we have incremental checkpoint.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thanks a lot, Amar. Thanks.
Someone has something else to ask? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so you want me to ask instead?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what I can find for you guys. Okay, wait, what's the main difference between incremental checkpoint and regular normal checkpoint?
Okay, can I try?
Go ahead.
Normal checkpoint happens on the data files header, the control files, and the redo log files, whereas incremental happens in the control files.
Okay. The main, okay, I get what you're saying, but the main difference is that incremental checkpoint would take place every 3 seconds. The DB writer goes out to see if there are changes that were made. A normal checkpoint, right, by default, takes place after every log switch, right? After every log switch, and that's why we need incremental checkpoint to be performed every 3 seconds. Otherwise, it would be too much information to wait after every log switch, right?
Okay.
But you're right. For the incremental, the DB writer writes to the control files. Okay. I was actually, okay, let me try to find some questions. Okay, can you give an example for automatic instance recovery or crash recovery? For example, if there is inconsistent shutdown, right? And you need to start up your database again, it would require instance recovery, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that was my question. What is automatic instance recovery? Okay, basically, let's say there is a inconsistent shutdown or the database just crashes. Normally, you would just need to restart the database. If you're able to restart the database, or if you enable Oracle restart, right, your database will restart automatically. Then the instance will be mounted, and then the data files will try to be open. And then if there are some files that are not synchronized, right, or that were not checkpointed before shutdown, the instance will use the Redulog informations, right, to roll the data files to the previous SCN. It's like we said earlier, right? Forward to the time of shutdown. And of course, any uncommitted transaction will be rolled back.
Can you please take it over, Emerald?
Sure. What do you want me to take over?
Or the explanation that you were giving for in case of an inconsistent shutdown.
Okay, I was saying that she already said that, but I'm just saying like differently. Is that if Oracle Restart is enabled, right? The instance will restart automatically after like a crash, and the instance would be mounted, right? And then the data file will the database will try to open the data files. And if there are data files that are not synchronized, meaning the SCN numbers are not the same, right, for all the data files or with the control files, the instance will use the information in the Redulog files to roll back, right? To roll back the data file to the SCN that is synchronized with the rest of the other data files in the database, right?
Okay.
And then the database will be able to open, and all the uncommitted transaction will be rolled back. Right? Guys, you guys have another question? Like, we only have the same people talking all the time. It's either Nacho, Renalda, Fali, everybody else is silent. Marie.
I got a question, but it's not a lot for this lesson. You say
Okay,
why was you fixing a two problem?
Yes.
You do show parameter, you check
Recovery.
your recovery, you do alter system, and then you put this scope equal both.
Yes.
It's working.
Yes.
But when you finish, you put create P file for SP file.
Yes.
My question, why you do that?
When you scope both, what do you scope to? You scope to SP file, right?
You speak for SP file and the memory.
To memory, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, was the P file changed? Were the information in the P file directly changed? I'm asking you.
I said again, I don't hear your question.
No, my question is, right, when
Yes.
you scope both, it means we scope to memory and to the SP file, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'm asking, is the P file still the same, or did the P file change after you issue that SQL statement?
That's my question. Because one I finish that one, I want to finish.
I know why I'm asking that, right?
Yeah, let me go. When I finish, if I put the show parameter,
yes,
it's going to give me the good result. But that's why you do that. That's I ask a question why you do that.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that when you scope to the SP file and to the memory.
Yes, ma'am.
But if you want to add those changes to the P file, you need to create P file from the SP file that was just edited.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes.
That's why I asked did you scope to that P file? No, you scope to the SP file and to the memory. So the P file is still the same. Like is the same. If you multiplex, for example, right?
Yes.
You have to create P file from SP file, because if you go and you try to view to cut that P file, you see that it's exactly the same before you multiplexed it, right? You will only be able to see 2 control files or 3 control files, right? Even though your actual system said control file, you added 6, even 7 control files. That's why we create P file from SP file, so that the P file is the same as what you have in the SP file.
For the
You can try
P file,
that for prep.
No, for the P file and the SP for the control file, I cannot understand what you say, but that's I can understand why you do the recover. You do the show parameter.
You cannot
recover.
understand with the control file?
No, I say that one I can understand. That one.
Yes.
And control file is no problem. I do that. It's no problem. That's no problem. That's my question. My question was when I do a show parameter recovery.
Yes.
I do the same command, but I'm not create the P file for the SP file. But when I go check, I put the show parameter recovery, it go give me the good result. That's I did it. That's the change I made.
Yes, that's because the change were made to the SP file and to memory, right? So of course you would be able to view it directly.
They might also come out directly. I don't know why. It doesn't show.
Because the changes were made to memory, and when we scope equals both, right? The changes are to memory and to the SP file.
And to the SP file.
So it's supposed to show now, right?
If you show parameter recovery, of course you'll see it because the changes were made to memory.
Exactly. Mine is not showing Emerald. And when I list my aura data and everything, I can see the 3 control file that I've
Share your screen.
Exactly.
Share the screen, let's see. Are you sharing?
I'm trying to share my screen. I'm trying to do it.
Top right hand side.
Can you guys see?
Yes.
Yes.
So what did you say was not working?
The control file. Let me see.
Okay, so you have two here, right?
Yes, sir.
Which means that in your SP file, there are just two. Does that make sense? In the SP file, there are two.
Okay.
That's why you are reading from the parameter file. It means you must go and do the alter system set, and you list all the three control files. Then you come and go to the operating system, and then you do the copy, and then you start up the database. Because that third one is non-functional. If you go now, you look at them, that only 1 and 2 have the same names. Can I take control?
You say what, sir?
I'm requesting control. I want to show you that if you go to the
there's something appearing on my screen. Render user.
Say yes.
Approve. Okay. I said yes.
Okay. All right. So what I want to do is, or what I was saying is that you have these two listed, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
if you go to the operating system, right?
Yes,
or you
sir.
go to slash or data slash, what's the database name?
BNDMO.
And you look at the control files, it's working only with two, even if you have three there. Let me see. You have 5, right?
No, I have 3, sir. That one is continent.
Oh, okay, 3.
I have 3. On the
1, 2, 3. Okay, that's true. It's continent.
Yeah,
Yes.
down on the continent, I have control file.
Good. All what it's saying is control 1 and control 2. The one using what is that? Oh, where's control? Oh, okay, this control here.
Yeah, after continent 5, I have control 1, control 2, control 3.
Very good. So let's see. Hold on, let me highlight those so I can see. In fact, let me try to see if I can make it bigger. Can I change the settings?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you look in here, you look at the files. These are your control files. Control 1, control 2, control 3. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
What I'm telling you is that only 2 of these control files are being used. If you look at it, the timestamp for those first 2, they are the same, right?
Yes, sir.
That third control file is useless. It's not being used. So seeing it physically does not mean anything. All control files must be identical. But look at, they have at least 2 have left that one behind because when you started in the SP file, never saw it. So you not put in the SP file that you have a third control file. So creating it physically does not do nothing. It's just a file. If you even call that one control stick, it doesn't matter. It's not used, it's not being read. So it's as good as deleting the file. You must go back to that statement which says alter system set control file equals, you leave those 3 there. Scope equals SP file. Then your SP file, oh Jesus, who's this with this noise now? Why? Just mute yourself. Moderator, mute everybody. So the fact that you have a control file here does not mean that the database will read it. Until you tell the database to read it by doing what? Alter system set, put it in your SP file, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
SP file. When you put it in this SP file, at that moment it's not seeing it. You will only see it after you restart. When you start, what happens? It reads the SP file, sees the tree, comes in the operating system, then you copy after you shut down your database. Because that's how the statement is. You copy. When you copy it at that point, you say, okay, good. Now it looks you have 3. So when you start up, it reads the SP file, it sees 3. It comes in the operating system, it sees 3, it starts up with 3. That's how you have multiplexed. But until then, you're just copying the file to another file. As you start up that database, that file is useless.
Okay, sir.
All right?
Thank you, sir.
You're not welcome. Take your machine before I push shut down.
See, sir, this machine, Emerald has heard the whole week. It was my database was.
Yes, now trouble people have their database with trouble.
Yeah, Emerald was of a big help.
Stop sharing your screen. Stop sharing screen.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you too. How are you?
Good, sir.
Why are you laughing? Questions?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Knock yourself out.
I have a question about the inconsistent backup. Please, can you explain that part again, please, sir?
About what?
Inconsistent backup.
What? Ask the question now. You cannot say I have a question. You don't know what an inconsistent backup is?
So I'm a little bit confused.
Between what now? So tell me what is confused. If I explain it again, it doesn't mean that it's going to help.
I don't really understand that part.
It's a backup of what happens when?
When the database is online.
Good.
And
so what do you want to know now? When you back up that database which is online, what happens? You have to acquire the files in order to copy them, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to acquire the file in order to copy the file. You see inconsistent backup here, right?
Yes, sir.
It's also called a hot backup. It's called a hot backup or an online backup. It can either be hot or it can be online, right?
Yes, sir.
It will be taken when the database is what? Open. Or it's up and it is running. The database must be what? Must be in archive block mode. Right?
Yes, sir.
To do a hot backup, we must back up to our table space by table space. All right? Before you back up a table space, what do? You put it in backup mode, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you put a table space in backup mode? How will you put the table space that you want to back up in backup mode? What's the command?
All that table space, the table space name begin backup.
Thank you very much. Alter table space name begin backup. It puts that file in backup mode. What does that? What does putting a database in backup mode mean? When you say I put this table space in backup mode, what does that mean? What does it mean to put a table space in backup mode?
Of it means changes cannot be made on that table.
On the files.
On the files.
These changes cannot be made on the files.
On the
in
files.
that table space. Right?
Yes, sir.
And why can the changes not be made? Because you are ready to do what? To back it up.
Back up.
Yes. Changes cannot be made to the file because you are ready to back it up. So what do? Back it up, right? Start copying the files. Copy a file, which file do you copy? You copy a file from the location where your database is. In this case, /other data /xxdmo, choose 01.dbf, copy to Word, /other data /fra/xxdmo. Then you see your databases, your files will be copied there. After that, what do? You take your table space out of backup mode. Irene.
Yes, sir.
How do you take your table space off backup mode? How will you take your table space off the backup mode?
Are you talking the command, sir?
Yes.
Alter table space and command and backup.
Alter table space name and backup. And when you do that, what happens to the file? The file will play catch up. The file will play catch up because the data that could not be entered when it was being copied will be entered now. The data will enter from where?
Archive log.
Will enter from the archive log files because the archive logs must be on. That is why we have this. Must be in archive log mode. So when we are copying the file, it's a live file, we're copying it, we're not worried that no one can access it, but the data that is supposed to be in that file, we know where it is. The data that is supposed to be in that file is in the archive log files. So we're going to recover the data, so nothing will be lost. Was to bring that thing out of backup mode. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You don't have any other questions? Anybody, any question on anything? No questions? No questions. No questions is tricky. Understanding or no understanding? Oh. Carol, did you finish? Oops, she left. All right. Somebody asked a question. No questions. Do you all understand everything, or what's up? We don't want to use you. You don't want to talk again. You truly don't have any questions on backups or anything else? All right. I'll go back to the class and start teaching. Is this where we stopped the last class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to skip this guy for now. Backing up control file to trace. I'll show you when I start cloning databases with you. Managing backups. So you're supposed to go to your backup location and you're supposed to see, I think, at least 4 backups that we've done so far. How many of you have gone to your backup location and see if your backups did wrong? How many
So
of you?
I had 3, but I had to delete it with Emerald because my database was having a problem of FR space. So we had to delete it in order for it to function.
You have 3 backups?
Yes. I had an issue with my database, and I think it was also affecting the enterprise management. It wasn't sure, so she had to do some certain things, and we deleted some backups. We deleted some backups for it to work.
Okay, whose machines can I get into? I need a server to get into. Just check the backups. What? I didn't hear.
173.
Takes 1 year for somebody to give me a server name. By the time everybody was fighting to give their server names. Now because you are not doing things. What's that? 173.
So that's the same issue I was having.
So it tells you what your archiver is unable to archive Redulong because the device is full.
Yeah.
Yes. So there could be one of 2 things. Why would your FRA be full? Guys, I'm not so sure what's going on. Okay, 173. Oh my. 173. All right, GL space minus H. Okay, it says here your FRA is full, which is but I see here that your mount point is not full, or the data has 18%. So how much, what is your FRA size? Let's see. Let's go into, I don't see how you back up 3 databases and then you fill it 25 gigs, so 4 databases.
Yeah, sure. Which shows?
See that? I don't know what kind of school we are in.
I did 25 the other days. I don't know what's going on.
Yes, you went and changed your P file. You go and create SP file from P file and you cancel it. Go fix it now that you know what it is. Ah, people, I'm confused there. All right. You saw what it was, 3 gigs, that's what the problem was. Now that you fixed it.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a question?
No. Let me fix this one first. Immediately we have changed it. Space has been created in FRA. Guess what's going on? The database is coming back. You see that?
Yes, sir.
But when you change parameters, you must go fix the P file. Else, when you create SP file from P file, it overwrites that thing.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Or you did not do it. Did you do it?
Yes, sir. I did that day.
All right. It's loading your thing forever. Okay. So what do we say? What was it? What were we supposed to do again? I was supposed to go check your
The backup.
Okay. Manage current backups. All right. We'll get to manage current backups. There are a few things here that I want you to really understand. Up here, you see what? Catalog additional files, cross-check all, delete all obsolete, delete all expired. In managing backups, you need to know all of those. You need to know what they mean. Very, very important. Give me 1 second. Very important. Okay, so when did we start using Arman? When did we start using Arman?
Last Friday.
When did we start using Arman for our backup?
I think it was last Friday, sir.
We did our first backup on Wednesday. Wednesday was the first.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Okay. When you say catalog additional files, you mean that, let's assume that last Tuesday we did a backup using user managed backup. You can catalog additional files by telling Arman that we have backups that you did not take. But you can use them if you want to. For example, if you want to recover something on Tuesday, we have archive logs that are available. So although Arman did not take that backup, Arman can still use that backup for a certain recovery if it needs to. So cataloging additional files simply means bringing additional files and making additional files available to Arman that were taken before you implemented Arman. What is a catalog? What's a catalog?
A catalog is like
A catalog is
like a menu of events.
Of events. A catalog is a listing. Go to Best Buy, you can see their catalog of cameras that they have, the different types that they sell. What catalog is listing. So you have backups that Arman did not take. You can go ask Arman to use those backups as part of its recovery plan. Because Arman takes all his backups and you can say, Arman, I need this database to rewind. Rewind means database to yesterday. If you have the archive logs, you can take it back there. Am I making any sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Catalog additional files means to add files into Arman's catalog that Arman did not take. That allows, yes, Arman can use those files for recovery purposes as needed. Even though Arman did not take those backups, Arman has the capability to use them. So for that to happen, you must catalog additional files. The managing backup, the next thing is cross-check all. What does that mean, cross-check?
Delay.
Every once in a while, we may have to go and delete old files. For example, we had a situation where the FRA was full. If it was full because there were too many archive logs that have filled up the FRA, we'll go and look for the oldest archive log files and start deleting them. As soon as you delete them, the database resumes, just like you saw this one. That database was hung, not do anything to it, but as soon as we cleared up the space, the database went back to normal. So, for cross-check, if you delete files and expect Arman to run them, it will not work. If you delete files or delete a file, you are supposed to go and tell Arman that you have deleted some files. So do a cross-check to make sure that we note the files that that have been deleted, that are really available. So Arman will make a check to see the files are available. Every other thing that is there, then when he tries to do a recovery based on that file, it's going to fail. So sometimes for emergency purposes, you have to do what? You have to delete some files, move them around. But if you do that, you must run a cross-check. And Arman will go and cross-check and make sure that all the files that are available are noted. So when he receives that this file is not available, no big deal. Are we good? Cross-check. When you delete files, you must cross-check to make sure the files are available. What is delete obsolete? Delete obsolete simply means that you delete all the files that are longer than the retention policy. What's your current retention policy set at?
7 days.
Good tool. So any file on 8 days can delete obsolete because they're no longer required or necessary for our retention policy of 7 days. That's called delete obsolete. So what does delete all expired mean? Delete all expired says you go and update the catalog. Update the catalog with whatever you have deleted while removing from the catalog pool. It's not actually in the file. So the catalog is what? It's the listing of where all the files are. Won't you go in there and delete? All right. So that's correctly what this is saying. So at the top of the manage current backups page, 4 buttons will enable you to work with the existing data backups. Catalog additional files. Although Arman in our case, where we walk through Enterprise Manager, is the recommended way to create backups. You might also have some image copies or backup sets that were created by some other means or in some other environment. With the result that Arman is not aware of them. To catalog additional files, this task will identify those files and it will add them into Arman's catalog. So although Arman did not take a backup of those files, Arman can use those backups if need be. The next is called strike all. Arman can automatically delete obsolete backups, but you can also delete them by using your operating system commands. You delete a backup without using Arman, the catalog does not know whether the backup is missing until you do what? You perform a cross-check between catalog and files that are really there. All right. And next is what? To delete all obsolete. So if you delete all the backups that are older than the retention policy. What's our retention policy again? 7 days. When file is older than 7 days, it's called obsolete, and then Arman can delete it for you. Or you can issue this command and it will delete them for you. Delete all expired. Delete the catalog listing for all the backups that were not found when cross-check was performed. Are you good? Good, you are not good, you are bad. What's wrong? You are good?
Yes, sir.
All right, I hope so. How about that is good though, because I'll bring those 4 definitions in my exam. Yeah? You're sitting as if you don't have a mouth to speak. Any questions? No questions? You guys don't want this class?
We do.
You're not telling me that you do. You're not telling me that you do. If you don't want it, I'll walk away.
He said don't.
Don't or do?
Don't.
Why shouldn't I? You're not participating. So what should I do? I'm teaching myself basically. Or you are not studying. I mean, you don't have issues. Where are the issues? Ask for issue, no issue. I teach, don't respond. What should I do? Just keep teaching and going. Ask questions. Okay. All right. Let's see. We have finished the class at 8 o'clock. I'm going to use some of this time. All right. Doing backup reports. Go to Enterprise Manager. Under availability, under manage current backups, you see what is called backup reports. We're going to click on that, and you'll see, so this person's backup failed. We'll see the reason why it failed, right? FRA was not configured. At least we know. Who database is Mary?
Yes, yes.
So don't go and override those settings. Every time you look to create SP file from key file, make sure that you've updated everything.
But sir, that day we did scope equal both.
Yes. Which day? Both memory and SP file. What are got to do with key file?
Great.
What has scoping got to do with P file? When I'm scoping, you are scoping the what? SP file and memory.
So I'm sure maybe she created SP5 from P5 later.
That's exactly what I'm trying to tell her, and she's telling me that I scoped equals both. I'm sure that's what she did. She created SP5 from P5. That's how that value was overwritten. Both of them.
Yeah, because we did all of that together.
Okay. So she went and created that. Marie, you tell us one day what you did. All right. So let's look at one of the backups that completed. To go for a house on the 5th. That's a detailed backup reports. Lots of information. See number of files, now we're backed up, 63. Number of distinct files. Okay. Total size of our backups, 2.7 gigs. Control files, 2 files are backed up.
Sir. Professor,
Yes.
mine is different. I don't know why. I have data file. I have archive lock. I have control file. I have SP file, and I have backup set.
So what in my yours is different?
I don't see archive lock on her own, and I don't have image copy data file / control file. I don't have it in mine.
But we asked you to go click on something called image copy and you back up those. If you don't back up those, how do you what you want to say? Nothing here that we are seeing that we did not ask you to do. Backup sets happen with the two files being backup as the SP file and the control file. Those are the 2 files that are being backed up, which on backup sets.
Yeah, I have that. I have backup set. I don't have image copy.
How many data files are being backed up for yours?
How am I supposed to know that? Where should I look that, sir?
If you see my screen,
Okay, I have backup. Yeah, data file. I have 5 backup district file. I have all that, sir.
then what are you talking about?
I don't have copy, image copy. I don't
Because you
have
did not
that.
check, you did not, your backup setting is not set for image copy. You did not go and check that. We
And
did
I
that in
have
class.
and I have archive lock. I don't know why I have that in. I'm not seeing that on my screen.
Hmm?
I have archive lock. I don't know why.
Hmm. No, I'm just saying that if we check with whatever we selected is what was backed up. You see, the thing is I cannot be going to troubleshoot why something is not there. So look at the image copies, output their image copies. Why are they image copies? Because we selected them as image copies. You can see the next 10 of our file, we selected image copies. So our backup are not backing up, yours is backing up, it's not seeing it because it's backing up backup sets. So we know that we said we should back the one as image copies.
Okay.
We must go and change that backup setting because I want image copies. There's the control files. Those are the 2 control files that were backed up on that day. Backup sets, April 5th. Data file. And a list of 1 to 10 of 63 of the data files. Let's see. Pretty consistent. So that's what your backups will show you every night. And these are data files, files 63, 61, 1 to 10. If you keep going, you'll go until you see the last ones. Okay. You see the essence where they started, you see the checkpoint when the time took place. When this file was created, that was when the backups were taken. All right. This one is the backup that we took when we did just backup database plus archive log. That one on the first. That's why if you come here, you will not see data file because we did the back, we use the backup set. There are SP file and P file and archive logs. We just put a database in archive log mode, so I just 3. When we look here, backup set, backup set, backup set.
Okay.
All right, in backup reports. So information about the backup jobs can also be viewed by Enterprise Manager, availability backup reports. That's what we just did. The content is based on the control file. The backup report contains summary information as well as detailed information about the inputs and output of specific job, including the SCN number, the sizing, comprehension, the corruption, also on etc. etc. Okay, monitoring the fast recovery area. We just saw that Marie's fast recovery area was full because that was because of the mistake of going to reset that size. But I'm expecting that yours will be full at some point, maybe later this week or next week. Because we will start having backups every night and we are going to the FRA, so we expect that they will get their work full. If you monitor FRA, if it gets full, guess what happens? The database hangs. So how my database was hung. That's because our FRA was full. So you get to your this thing monitoring the FRA on Enterprise Manager. You can go back to your availability, the availabilities page, and go to where it says recovery settings. Open recovery settings. You see where your entity arrays will be here before. And here below, that's what? That's the FRA, fast recovery area usage. You can see here for image copies, it has something. 5.1 gig, archive logs 2 gig. So as you keep adding more information or adding more backups, that area is going to get full. Note that that is our archive log destination. So if it gets full, our archive log destination, our database will hang. No data can enter the database again because FRA is full. All right. Because the FRA is full. So, if you have configured your archive logs to be written to this location, it is important to monitor this space to ensure that it does not reach its capacity, ensure that it does not fill up. If the instance is unable to create an archive log because of lack of space, that instance will pause until the administrator corrects the situation. So, get onto this page, Enterprise Manager, availability, recovery settings on this page. You can verify how much of the fast recovery area has been consumed. Specify the location of the fast recovery area. Specify the size of the fast recovery area. Configure flashback database. Configure retention time. The retention time determines when files are obsolete. That is, when they are no longer needed or no longer meet your data recovery objectives. The Oracle database automatically manages this storage, deleting files that are no longer needed. So ARMA will delete a year after your obsolete files. When you back up the recovery area, back up the FRA, man can fail over to other archive redo-log destinations if redo-log file in the first recovery area is inaccessible or corrupted. So if you have multiple archive log destinations, man can copy to other archive log destinations. Periodically copying backups to tape frees space in the FRA. So as we said, backup of the backup. Somebody comes and copies these things out to tape and you freeze up those space. But retrieving files from tape causes longer database restoration and recovery time. Of course, tapes are slower than this. All right. So again, the name is not flash recovery area, it's fast recovery area. FRA. All right. Any questions? Any questions on anything? All right. So I'm not sure what's going on. The class is not going well. So I'm going to take a break right now. I'll be back at 8:30. So that if you have cooked up some questions, that's fine. If not, I'll close the class right there. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Wash your hands.
I come back and I ask questions. The morning class will be finished at almost 3 o'clock. Because I did not start anything because they have questions and they have read. I'm going to walk into each. If you don't want to do this, I will run by and do one class.
Every day morning class.
Hello. Boy, I could do it.
Mute yourself now.
Anymore.
Brian.
Yes, boy.
What's up? You there?
No, they're all right, boy.
Please go over the phone. Go talk on the
You
I
phone.
bet Marie. Now break this now.
I bet you what? Go talk on your phone.
You have to be. This is not your father's property. This is break time. Have you heard?
Who is the host? Meet everybody.
The February myself said to you.
Huh? Who is muting me? Did I say anything?
You support everybody, including the developers. The developers may run out of space. It's just like you going to tell somebody that you have run out of space. You cannot. You are always giving out space. So if you have a problem with the wrong syntax, you fix it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, if an analyst gets wrong SQL, they'll always ask the developer, but they may also ask you. Some analysts are very, very good with SQL, so they won't even bother you. But they know SQL is not sometimes not our big thing, but. All right, next question, please. Next question, please.
All right, I have another question about the mean time to recover. I don't really.
MTTR, okay.
Yes, I don't really understand the use of it.
Okay. You know what a service level agreement with the company is, right?
Yes.
That service level agreement, what is it? Let me start that way. What is it?
I think it tells you the amount of time that you can keep backed up information.
Say again?
It tells you it tells you the amount of time that you can keep backed up information.
Okay, what's retention policy?
Retention.
The question is, what is mean time to recover? It says, after your instance crashes, how much time do you need to recover? That's what mean time to recover means. We tell that there are companies that they'll give you in the service level agreement that we can afford 2 minutes, we can afford 3 minutes.
Okay.
But you want to keep it as low as possible. You want to keep it under 1 minute. So how do you influence that number? You can influence that number by putting your mean time to recover, and it's going to facilitate checkpoint to tell DB writer to write, so that our checkpoint position and the latest SCN is not that far. It makes DB writer a constant writer if you want to, to write faster. What are we trying to do? If there is recovery now, how long will it take? That is the MTTR time.
Okay.
It is set in seconds. So if your company says your MTTR is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you cannot set it to 30 minutes because they want to have their recovery done by 30. If you set it too large, what will that mean? If there is an instance crash, it will take a long time to recover. DB writer becomes very lazy then.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It is about recovering from an instance crash. All right, who has any question?
I have a question, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to know like the meaning of a third party user.
Okay, a third party anything is, say that again?
Third party user.
Okay, what did you say a third party user?
A third party code. A third party code.
Code?
Yeah.
It's from a different application, not Oracle. That's a third party.
That was from Audit Vault.
It says all third party users, which simply will be like people who are not in the Oracle business. Not Oracle database, not Oracle application. We might buy a third party software. Although Oracle has security, we might buy some people who have whose job is to write only security software. And because we don't want to worry ourselves trying to fix or adjust Oracle security with that robust, they said, no, don't worry, this tool is very robust, easy to manage. Guess what? We'll just use it as a third-party tool. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not an Oracle tool, but we can buy a tool to help us manage our security even better. Just like I'm telling you, like the token key and so on, where you know only half of the password. You enter half, then you hit the button, you put the half in there, then it goes and sends you back the other half and sends the other half to the database as well. So that's high-tech security. You don't want to build that by yourself. But if someone has already written the code, you can take advantage of such good technology and you'll buy a third-party tool.
Okay.
So we even have one of the best tools that you're going to use in Oracle. It's not Enterprise Manager. It's called Toad, a tool for Oracle application developers. It is Toad. Toad is written by Quest, and I think Quest is now, I don't know who has Quest now. I think Quest is, I'm sure, I think they're backed by themselves. So it's a third-party Oracle database administration tool. And it's the best because they are there to do it. They're not trying to discover new databases, but they know how to query all our databases. Makes life really easy. So that's what we call third-party. It's a different company.
Okay.
Questions? Any questions?
Sir,
Yes.
I wanted to ask, is the RMAN repository only kept in the control file? Is it a must that is kept in the control file?
Yes, for now, because we do not have what is called a recovery catalog. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
When we are going to configure a recovery catalog will be a schema, another schema. We can move metadata of our backups into the recovery catalog. And then, but now it's the control file that keeps backup information.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going to do the recovery catalog at some point.
And I have another question about the flashback. When you trying to flash back the database to a set time in the past, can you write to that database?
No. You are backing out of everything that happened to the past, right? To the past, we said the entire database. At that point, no. Until you finish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. Question? Questions?
I have another question.
Sure.
So please, can you please take over the difference between the partial database backup and the incremental database backup?
Some of the terminologies in there, is this 14?
15, page 6.
I can understand how some of the terminologies in there can be a little tricky. This guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Since the backup the entire database is a whole backup and portion of the database. So there are times where we can back up the entire database, and there are times where we can back up some part of the database. If we go detailedly into our backup settings, you could realize that you could skip certain things that have already been backed up or that have not been changed. Right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You will skip certain things that have not changed. And what does that mean? You're not backing up the entire database. You're backing up part of it, just what has changed. Okay, look at what it says. It says it includes all the data files and at least one control file. Because one control file is present, we can just use that one and multiplex it with the number of control files that we need. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Partial database backup may include 0 or more table spaces and 0 or more data files, may or may not include a control file. You see, that kind of definition is just crazy. It may include 0 or more table spaces and 0 or more data files. May or may not include a control file. I'm not even sure what that means. Partial. And more for full database backup. Copy of each data block that contains data that is within the files being backed up. Then we can do incremental and backup set or image copy. That's more interesting. That partial thing, I don't know. But I think it's just living files that maybe have not changed. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Whole database backup, the entire thing, including one control file at least. Partial, I'm not so sure what they mean, but I'm suggesting skipping things that have not changed, or skipping read-only backups. But a full database backup, you back up everything. And they have multiple types. You can back up a full image or full backup set. Do you understand incremental?
Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to know, so for whole database backup and for partial database backup, so the partial is just that it backs up just information that has not been backed up previously.
That has not been backed up previously. Yes, so you can skip things like index table space and go recreate them. You can skip things like read-only table spaces.
Okay, so just going back to the example that you told us last time, if let's say on Monday you have a whole backup and then on Tuesday you have a partial backup,
No,
and
that strategy will not work for me. I will not do that. I must do a strategy that I understand and that will work for me. Again, because this partial database backup is very sketchy. You understand? I need to understand. I will do incremental differential and incremental cumulative because I understand them. So I'm going to do my full database backup. Whole database backup with or without control files, blah, 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 blah. No, I can take this kind of backup and keep it for posterity. If somebody wants it someday that I want this database on that day, I'll bring that database, take the control files, multiplex them, and start the database up for whole database backup. Again, they're backing up for different purposes. Let's say they're backing up for the week, right? He says I do a whole database backup on Monday. On Tuesday, they do a partial. On Wednesday, they do a partial, which means just what has changed. I'm not very sure what they mean, but if we go by my definition, okay, they explain it. Okay, so go ahead and explain the scenario that you were given.
no, because I was just trying to, let's say Monday we have the complete backup, and then Tuesday we have the partial backup. That's still backing up only information that was not backed up on Monday. And then let's say we have a crash. So will we have to go back to Monday to recover everything?
Yes, because Tuesday is not complete. So you must go back to Monday and apply any changes the other changes that took place.
Okay.
Backing up nightly is not feasible because nobody gives you that luxury of the length of time to back up your entire database. You must do this strategy by a week. Sometimes people do 2 week strategy. But you usually have sometimes for the entire database to come down, but files, little things will be coming down all the time. That's what we're trying to make sure that we do on Wednesday. Start breaking the database, making sure that the backups are running.
Okay, and also when I was going through my backups, I saw that most of them were not really at the time that we set it up for. As in, I have some of them like in the PMs.
PM?
Yeah. I have one.
PM backup?
Yeah.
What time did you say?
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Are you sure it's not 3 p.m.?
No, it was 3. You did it for me. It was 3 a.m. It was just like Marie's, the one that you had before, the enterprise manager. I saw most of them was PM too. Most of the backups were in the PMs. Now I don't know if that's an issue, but
Let's see why. Okay.
That's where you go.
I see the oldest checkpoint.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong place. My bad.
I'm seeing the 3 a.m. and so on here now. 2:39 a.m. Questions? No questions?
I have one more question.
Sure.
So I was looking at the steps that happen for recovering.
What kind
I
of
saw
recovery?
that for
Instance recovery?
yeah, instance recovery.
Sure.
And I saw that at some point when the database is not open yet, the redo log files will the information, let's see, transactions that are not yet committed are still available. So I just wanted to know how that is possible.
What do you mean by they are still available? What does that mean? I don't understand what you mean by the transactions which were not. Recovery takes place automatically. And recovery will take place, the database defaults to a roll forward of everything, both committed and uncommitted transactions. It rolls them forward as a first step. So it writes inside your database, recovers in your database, everything both committed and uncommitted. So what's the question?
You say it writes in the database everything both committed and uncommitted?
From the redo log files to the database files, it recovers everything, both committed and uncommitted, yes.
Okay, and that information is, my question is, how is that information gotten back in the database?
By recovering. When I say roll forward, I'm meaning that it recovers. Remember, this is redo information, right? Both committed and uncommitted transactions are redone inside your database. You open the database and then you roll back the non-committed, the uncommitted rather.
Okay.
Note that redo information is a SQL statement, right? So you simply redo all what you did. But because we cannot pick and choose at the point of crash. Remember, it was a crash, it's chaotic. We'll play safe, we'll roll forward everything. Every statement that was written in that redo information, we run it, right? Yeah. Then when we open now, we can roll back those that were not committed.
Okay.
And we'll leave our database then only with the committed.
I got a question. Oh, I got a question. I need to just clarify something in my head. When we we change the parameter, like what we change the parameter recovery or maybe process parameter. When we do the SQL, we add, we finish. We have to create the P file from the SP file.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you don't do it, what happened to Marie will happen to you. Because now you have SP file different from P file. And if by mistake or whatever you did to create SP file from P file, you have overwritten that change that you made.
Okay, I got it, Prof.
Remember, those two files, you want to keep them in sync.
Okay.
If you change something in the P file, create SP file from P file. If you change something in the SP file, create P file from SP file.
Okay.
Always remember to make a habit of doing it very often because you know how to be making mistakes.
Because that one I never know this one before. That's why I want. If I change, just check if the change made. I think, but I'm gone. That's why I was just confused.
I didn't get you. If you do what?
I said if maybe I'm changing something, like I change the parameter recovery. I change the size, for example, for 25. When I check show parameter recovery, it gives me the result. Just I'm gone because I think about it.
No, you have to go and at that point you need to go and create P file from SP file to make that change of that parameter go to the P file too.
Okay.
A good habit, else the files will be different. You can go at the end of the day and you create it, but you never know what may happen. So it's something that's a very good habit if you can form it.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. We can go to the command line, to Arman's command line. And there are a few things that we can do. We've already been here. Backup database plus archive log. We already went there and we did that. All right. So everything that we can do on Enterprise Manager, we definitely can do on command line. For example, 173 is there. Okay. So we can exit from here and we can go to Arman / all right. So we'll see that we can do backup manually. You can see the different configurations. For example, all the things that we've been doing, we went and set them through Enterprise Manager, right? Like image copy, retention policy, and all of that. They're all configurations. So we can do something like show all. Show all will show us all the configurations. Yeah, that's our current configurations. You see here, you see enterprise, your retention policy is 7 days. You can manually change all of this. Emerald will show you how. Backup optimization, control file auto backup format disk. So you see that? You can change your parallelism right here. Backup device to disk. Okay. So you can use command line to run your configurations. All right. Okay. If I want to see the backups that have run, I can do list backup. And it'll tell me all the backups that she's had run. And scroll through it, you'll see our data FRA, where it backed up from, where it backed up to. And these are the files that are been backed up. All right. Files in the backup sets. So that's a result of a list backup. So somebody wants your backup report, you can list this one out and print it out for them. All right. What is a cross check? When are you going to do a cross check? What's a cross check? What is a cross check? What is a cross check? We just did it, right? Oh boy.
They said to delete.
A cross check does what?
Delete.
Hey boy. The cross check deletes. Jesus. Okay. I think I've reached my end of the rope. If you don't tell me what cross check is.
Sir, a cross check is to delete obsolete backup.
Cross check deletes obsolete backup. Then what does delete obsolete do? Cross check does not delete obsolete backups. A cross check does not delete obsolete backups.
The cross check checks the backups stored in the airman.
I didn't hear. You said what? What does cross check do?
It checks the backup.
Checks the backups in the FRA.
No, I said it checks the backup whose information is stored in the airman. The airman.
Checks the backup which information is stored in Ironman. No. Ironman is a tool. Ironman doesn't store backups. FRA is stored backup.
But so you say the cross check delete obsolete backup, and if you delete backup
So
without
the cross check deletes obsolete backups. So if you go down and say cross check, it will delete obsolete backups.
When you cross check, you're going back to make sure that the backups have been deleted, going back to the catalog to see if they have been deleted.
No. The cross check, now I'm trying to bring it up because I think I'm losing my mind. Cross check all.
Or you cross check to see if the backup is missing or not. Is missing from the catalog.
No. I'm trying to go to where it is, so we're going to read it together. Okay, go ahead. Anita, read it. Let me hear. Let us hear.
RMan can automatically delete obsolete backups, but you can also delete them by using operating system commands.
Okay, let's stop there. What does that mean? RMan can delete backup, but you can also delete it, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I need to continue.
If you delete a backup without using RMan, the catalog does not know whether the backup is missing until you perform a cross-check between the catalog and what is really there.
What does it say? If you deleted it with your operating system, the catalog does not know that they have been deleted. But when you do a cross-check, it is going to check to see the backups that are really there and those that are not there. Does that make sense? And you update RMan, update the catalog to say, it will not even delete this file from the catalog. But RMan will know that these files are physically present, these ones are not present. It updates RMan, and RMan is not going to look for them anymore, and their backups is going to run. So what does it do? It cross-check to verify that what files are actually present. Why? Because sometimes we can go and physically delete files by ourselves. And it will happen a lot. I'll tell you to go and clean your FRA. What does that mean? Go and delete some of those files. But if you come and don't do a cross-check, your backups will start failing. Who does not understand what cross-check means? Cross-check all. Who understands what cross-check means? All right. So I can cross-check. Cross-check backup. It goes there and verifies what I have. I can cross-check. I want something else, so I'll do cross-check archive log on. Go in there. All my archive logs. If you look at it, your data FRA, that's where it's going to look for it. That's why it is cross-check. You can also go to the operating system and look at Maria, what again?
173.
What?
To the 173.
So we want to go and check Marie's server to see the files themselves. Where are they located? So we can go to, where will they be? Where will her backup files go to? Slash what?
Our data.
So our data slash what?
DB1 FRA.
All right, she's done only that one backup, so that's the backup there. So you see what we did, we just created our data as FRA. RMan came here and created MMDMO for her database. You see where he put her archive logs? He did not just put her archive log, he divided her archive log by day. On the first, those are the archive logs generated. On the second, on the third, on the fourth, on the fifth, and today, so far. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Those are the archive logs. So it doesn't just put them, you did not do those dates, right? Armandi. He went for auto backup. For the third, auto backup. All right. Oh, what are we doing in the auto backup? Auto backup of what? Was what? Control file and SP file, correct?
Yes,
So we
sir.
check now. We said check auto backup on. Backup set is done 1 day. That's first. You see how many files Marie has? Marie has what? Is it how many files does she have? 61 files or something, or 40 something files?
63.
60 something, right?
63.
Good. Oracle put them in 4 backup when it comes to backup set. Just 4 files. Remember me telling you that? Do you remember when I was teaching backup sets and image copy? I said backup sets, they don't have to be the same number of files, right?
Yes, sir.
Who does not remember me saying that? Who remembers me saying that? What is backup set? Image and backup sets. You see image copies 1 to 1. Backup set is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But just look at how many. You have 2 here. Same thing I was saying there. So give me 1 file. But they are smaller. Why are backup sets smaller?
Because it takes less space.
Because?
It takes less space.
Meaning what? Why does it take less space?
Because it combined the files are being combined instead of having one.
The files are being. I can't understand. I can't hear what you're saying. Why is it taking less space?
It's taking less space because empty data blocks are not backed up.
Very simple. We'll not back up empty blocks, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you come to data file. That's where all our files are. You can see all our files there. So those are her backup. That's how Alman arranges them for her. When she backs up the second one, if she has it, the next database to back up, and she goes and does that configuration, Alman will come here. When you click on FRA, you will see the second one will be here. And in there, you will see the same thing that you see depending on if she configures archive law, auto backup, etc. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? There's something that I talked to you about the last time, which we was going to check. It checks the database and just make sure. I think that was on chapter 12. We validate. Sometimes you validate your validated command, it will go and check all the database for different integrity and so on. So validate database is something that you can do here from Arma. I think that's what it was. So you can do integrity checks for you, file corruptions, block corruptions, etc. So Arma is very powerful too.
Please, I did not understand very well the question.
You don't understand what cross-check means?
Can you please explain again, please?
Okay. Are you seeing the screen? Are you seeing the screen?
I see the note. No.
Yes. So go ahead, read it. Cross-check all of them. Read it, let me hear. Mary,
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting for you.
The Arman can automatically delete obsolete backup, but you can also delete them by using operating system command.
Do you understand what that means?
Yes, sir.
Arman can delete, you can also delete, correct?
Yes.
Good. Continue.
If you delete a backup without using Arman, the catalog does not know whether the backup is missing until you perform a cross-check.
Cross-check between the catalog and what is really there. What is a catalog?
It is a list.
Of what? What is this catalog we are referring to? It's a list of what?
Of backups.
Of all the backups, of all the archive log files, because that's our archive log destination, right? Everything that is going to the FRA, it is listed. We have it all listed. So if you delete it, how do we know? How can we check our list? We don't know that it's gone unless you do a cross-check. Cross-check goes and checks that this file is present, this one is not, this one. Because you too can delete files from there. If I want to delete it, Arman notifies it itself that it has deleted it. If you delete it, how will Arman know? You understand that, Marie?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because I just shouted it on you?
Maybe. Thank you, sir.
Maybe. Who said maybe? Natu? Question.
Sir, please, my database, please.
That's not a question. That's a statement. Go and fix it. I cannot do homework for you. I've told you that.
Sir, I even went into, I can't even find my alert log. It's not in my trace file. It's not in my trace directory, I mean.
Why do you think if you go and break your things and it's me who will fix it for you?
I haven't slept for 5 days because of this this.
Good. I've been sleeping all the time, 5 days continuously.
Please, sir, please.
No.
I'm your student.
You will not learn. You will not learn. I told you that control file will torment a few people. You're running your mouth. No, I'm who? Me, I'm not thick. I'm going to show you. Karma.
You see your life.
You see my life? I'm not fit. You know that I'm not fit. It must show you.
Sir, I'm telling you that everyone has been working on this database for 5 days, sir. It's keep bringing things. I don't understand.
More people. Do you repent of your sins?
I've repented. I've repented since 5 days.
You repented 5 days. You repent
I've
some more.
repented, sir. I've repented.
I don't tell you.
Even a discount, don't give again.
I don't agree that everyone has physically worked on that database.
So you can ask her. You can ask the whole class. Each time we have a class, she's always working on my database. And after the class, she's working on my database. We are working together till midnight. And you will function. Then the next day, something will pop up.
It's you.
That means you did something.
I don't touch it. Barry, don't
touch
speak.
it. Who $5 on that?
Barry, don't speak what you don't know.
This one. Cho, yeah, cho.
I don't really kiss with that. Cho, yeah, cho, and what is that? Well, over business to the particular. All right. Any other questions? Matu, I'm not fixing your database. It's too easy. Student what?
144.
144. Don't even hear the number. The is 144. Do like something. So is the database open now? No.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Only the Eastern. Only the Eastern is open. It's not mounted.
Go back control file. I'm starting new online class for new people. They are confused. Well, you should help them and let them know that it's not dangerous.
Let's finish our first step first, sir, before we help them.
Help them what? Why help them?
Let someone finish DB1 first, sir. Before you try to be heavy.
No, they are coming in May, it's not now. But they are all wondering how will it work. I say, but you're not tried it now. You're just wondering how it will work out. I don't know how it will work when you're not even tried. I say I will teach and you will see.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
The new session is in May.
Say that again.
The new session is in May.
Yeah, I think May 12th. What's the database name?
BMDMO.
BM.
N.
Okay. So we say alter database now. Everyone identifying control file. So what I'll do is, you know what? I'm going to make a duplicate session. Class 26. All right. Slash. Or data slash. What's the database name again? BNGMO. Where you will be seeing how you guys can mess up. All right. So she has 3 control files here, right?
Yes, sir.
This one. So you look at control 3 is not working, right? You see that, right?
Yes, sir.
You see control 03.ctl.
So how do you
How
do you look at this like that and know that it's not working?
Don't look at these two at the same
They
time.
don't
This one
match.
does
They
not
don't
have it
match.
now.
They must be unique.
Okay, sir.
All right. But we need to verify this. Let us go to alert log. What is this student one?
144.
All right. DNDMO. So let's. Holy smokes. She's not even giving us the says what? All candidate mount cannot open. It cannot open. You see, she spelled it incorrectly. Are you seeing what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So you spelled it incorrectly. Instead of control, you do CONTR. There's no O there. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So how is that my problem when you cannot spell? Hmm?
So we never knew it was a spelling error.
Mm-hmm. Now you do. Now you do. I'm saying that when people want to do this thing, they do it now. When they don't want to do it, they don't do it. You cannot use a typo. You cannot obtain file status. The same thing. Unable to. But our data says, yeah, so that's what you have set inside our SP file. So whatever thing is in the SP file is wrong. The data that because it went to this SP file, right?
Yes, sir.
The things you put in that SP file is wrong. You see? You're sitting there, it's wrong. I told her to go and look at the alert log. She refused, right?
No, sir. When
there.
input it where you are now, so
He went in there. He went in there. I went there. Went
so
there.
if you see the input the CD trace file, you will not
Why do you think I gave you this other tool? You say you went there, you did not see it, see it input what? I gave you that tool so I can read these things better. That's why we give you tools now. Look at the error here. Well, that's when this thing was full. It told you here, Chris, this is it, 100% full. When I say go and read let log, now I need to go read that. I'm not only fix that for me. What happened?
That's
you know that error now, right?
Sir.
Yes. I'm listening. I'm listening. Okay, all of these errors are when the edition was full. Okay, I'm listening. Yes, what happened?
So now, sir, yeah, it's a spelling error. Then how can I rectify the spelling error?
Go and type alter system, set that thing in the right manner. You don't even have one control file. Let us see what is going on. The thing is here is I hate to do things that you can do very easily. You want to see what's your listing file, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So you go and create SP file from B file, and you will see what is there. So let's look for our init file that we just created. Init BNDMO. This one, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is where your problem is. Why all of this space, nobody knows. Let me undo what I just did. That is exactly how this thing was showing us, right?
Yes, sir.
That's your problem. Okay. You have control files. BNDMO control01.ctl. Control file BNDMO control02.ctl. Then what happened? Which one is this?
It was supposed to be the 3, the third one that I was supposed to add.
You know, they spell it correctly. So I can take you back to having just 2 control files.
Okay,
and your
sir.
database will open, and then you can work from there, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So we can have BNDMO control01 and control02.ctl. All right. We'll save our P file. Okay. And we're going to shut down immediate. We're going to create SP file from P file. Just fix the P file, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Start up. You have your 2 control files mounted. I want you to remove that third one. Because that one is no good, right?
Yes, sir.
So whatever is creating that space Yeah, SP5, you need to get rid of that. All right. So I want you to do, what is it in control 03, that's it here. So I want to do RM. All right. We have just 1 and 2. We are back to square 0, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good enough?
Thank you, sir.
That's one more thing. Beat success. This push water will start punish. All right, people. Good night. What? Anybody have anything to say? You are quiet. Nobody.
No, sir.
Good night,
Good night. Good, sir.
Nothing to say?
Be safe, sir.
Thank you.
Morning class, I teach until 3 o'clock. Nobody's hurrying. Say we're not going anywhere. We're sitting. Everybody has every question.
That's
We
the
people, we are not
that's the
asking.
morning. That's the morning, Prof.
In the morning, they actually have more energy.
What are you doing with your energy? You don't go to work. What do you do with your own energy all day?
Sir, we are tired too.
You're tired? Tired from sleeping?
Prof, some people are still working, oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Some people work with us.
You're working 24 hours.
Sir, the thing is that if we don't work and then we don't pay you, then you're actually going to face our server.
Really? Good. Bring the server. I'll freeze it.
That's what we avoid. We don't want to
Sometimes the evening class is the best. Some days the morning class is the best. So it all
varies.
You teach morning and evening, eh?
It varies. So we attend the morning class as well.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You guys act as if the virus is making your head spin. You guys should be focus. If you want, I told you that with the flexibility with the evening classes that we can take many breaks. Your head is not working, just tell me. You know? And then we'll do.
For fine, I've created like 27 databases and dropped them.
Oh really?
Yes, sir.
So he's not telling you that the database were crashing.
Yeah, but when they crash, I drop. I try to fix. I can't fix. I drop. I go and create a useful one.
But that's the thing. You have to learn. But you cannot be crashing too many because it means that you're not learning many things. If Natu tells us about this database again, we're actually going to. I don't know.
So that's that. Anyway, I'm praying. So I'm really praying.
No,
the thing is, if I do it now, it will work.
Prof, the thing is,
please just do it, please.
Wow, I'll give one more. You might just do it.
Please, I'm telling you, 5 days I haven't slept.
Good. To be a DB, you want to sleep? You have been sleeping all along before what happened. Now you're not sleeping. You're
5 days I haven't slept. Even the
so don't sleep for 10 days. If you don't sleep for 10 days and become a DBA, then I have succeeded, and you too have.
Even in the study group, I'm not even focused because my database, I'm just thinking of what to do.
Alan.
Yes.
Just calm down.
When you want to copy
Prof is talking.
I'm telling you.
Prof, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Prof. Alan.
No, Prof, I have a question.
Really? So you
Wait.
Prof, Prof, because you want to talk?
Prof, I have a question.
Yes.
It's Prof still there. Okay, so the exam is still on the 17th.
Let me see. 17. Maybe I'll shoot it on the 24th. Maybe 24th.
Now wait till now exam to know.
Okay, the 24th, and then the money will be on the.
The exam will come whether you write them or not. Now wait see. They got to ask her.
Corona, this will need to worry people.
We still gonna have exam.
Prof, would they write the exam online?
Yes, we'll write it online, but everybody has a separate exam, so you cannot cheat.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because that's where it has backed.
Okay.
Oh, Latifa,
So
don't get me here. No, pitch. All cameras will be on, so I will see you writing the exam.
Yeah, that's why I'm pleading you now that you should fix my database before that day, please.
Then when the problem where you know you fix another campus, then you know how you fix a how.
By then I will learn how to fix from what you
Good,
have.
so start practicing now. Good night.
sir, wait.
Alan,
Somebody
One
has a
more
question,
let
sir.
Prof may
Who
go
has a
Sir,
through.
question. Sir.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So since the exam will be on the 24th, so that means the money that you want us to give to you will be by.
Who is talking about money? Call Prof. You guys should talk about money.
Reverend, I want the answer too.
Yeah, you guys should call Prof privately.
No,
now,
yes, the
because
money must be
Prof
2,000 by 24 now. I thought that we already agreed that now.
How
No,
na
we
the
didn't agree.
Prof? Come on,
it
Bishop
should be.
Rogan too.
No. Prof, we actually agreed that we take the exam first and then we will think about the money after now, and then you actually do the discount now. Please.
Just go with it.
We just go like this. So
Who's
you still
talking
want
now?
us?
Your name is not on your thing. Your name is 0000. Who's talking?
I actually did that on purpose, so that you don't
Money
insult
matter,
me.
they need talk in general, so not private talk, that's money.
No. I have to make a general rule. Who is 00?
By the way, I'm not hearing. You guys should discuss.
It's more, madam.
Oh, Petit
Alan.
Madame. Oh,
I want to ask
knew
you from
that.
this in
Good.
when
I know her. That's Petit Madame. Petit
when you
Madame.
don't multiplex, right?
Good
Then
night.
good night, Prof. Then you
Good night,
shut
Prof.
down. After you shut down, when you want copy,
But
where
you
you
should
copy
stay here for the next 1 hour. Keep talking, meet, share your screens. That's how we learn. Every day is a story book. You don't know we are group members. Read amongst yourselves.
Yes, Prof. I thought you were gone.
I'm gone now.
for the operating system, right?
Yeah.
When you don't copy that stuff, like you the can't edit and how we the edit script. Just copy that 3 because I try for the man try for show me something, but I not be really want understand. I want understand why you do copy and from this like for win SCP, right?
And
from there we can't edit them.
Oh, you mean that one or multiplex?
Yeah, for multiplex
Control
like,
file.
Control file.
No, control file. If you go your this thing now, you go for your server. You go edit them for the, or you just exit for SQL. You go your operating system. You copy for the. But you know say 2 ways there for multiplex control file now.
Sideline, my stomach, I'm up.
I'm doing.
Oh, I've got that stuff.
The first one I for dual SQL, the way they be doing that way on the same. Yeah, now the first one that, then the second one away you go VI P5, right?
Yeah.
You make that changes for they go operating system now. You copy that file like you do like 2.5 for your P5, right?
If you just run to one nana surveyor.
May I screen that?
No, I know. If you just come with your screen on, then you use on their play database.
Again, a one play database. I already multiplex that one. Right.
Ale, you are not the host, so you can continue. I'm gonna leave. I give you the host.
Okay, Papa.
Need help. There has to be a purpose to this. You know, I'm not just gonna here for